Hello, I have unmuted myself. Have you unmuted yourself?
Yeah, I have. Oh, I don't know. Again, I don't see the punchline. I know that the expression isn't usual to you, but I really don't get it. Why is it funny or I don't know, unusual to say that someone's get muted or unmuted myself? Probably there is an association I don't know about, but I tried to ask you a few times and still I don't get it. How are you
Well,
anyway?
well, if no, if you say you're going to off yourself, OFF, that means you're going to kill yourself,
Yeah,
off yourself.
right.
Did you get that?
Yeah, that's easy. How about muted, unmuted thing?
No, once we were recording and then there was no sound on your part and I just kept talking and then you came back on and you were laughing and said that you had unmuted yourself. It was just very funny.
Don't know. Again,
I
you
don't know
just
why.
explained it to me. I still don't get it. It's cultural clash, or
No,
crash. I
no,
don't know.
no, no. It's just something that nobody ever says. I've never heard anybody say it. It was just so unexpected and strange. It was something I'd never heard before. It was
Well,
yeah.
because it says mute. I mean, on my screen it says mute and unmute. So I just made a verb. So what do? I gotta unmute myself. Well, that's what I said. But then again,
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay. So so are we recording this or we're just talking? Because I
Yeah,
there's
we
a
record
difference.
everything. No, we're on the record. But
Oh,
yeah, I think it's a great
everything
thing.
I've ever said has been recorded. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
absolutely. If not by me, then by Google, or I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what
yeah,
phone you have.
yeah, yeah. So very
No
interesting.
privacy these days.
I'm uh would you like to or would you explain our cover shot and what our title and theme is today?
Yeah, the cover shot is about the bright side. I know there is a dark side, or actually, you know what? Speaking about the moon, there is no dark side. They call it the far side. I'm not sure how they call the near side or the visible one. Though anyway, the dark side is called far, not dark. And when things get like when you're down, or when the chips are down, you uh, always have to keep in mind that there is a bright side, there is a flip side, the bright side to everything. And
Well, I mean,
we'd like to
yeah, I mean,
dedicate this
it's like
episode. Say again?
if somebody's like in prison and they're going to get out in 20 years, there is a bright side. They're going to get out in 20 years. It's still dark for 20 years.
Well, there is, I mean, 20 years is horizon, is too far, but there is the bright side every day, even if you're in prison for life. Because life in prison, I think, God forbid, right? I don't say we go to prison, but life is in prison is not very much different from life we and you have. Again,
Life in
I'm
prison isn't
generalizing.
different. No,
Not much.
they don't have Lavazza coffee in prison.
Yeah, they are
They,
different things and different laws and different the friendship they have. I mean, I don't want to go into that because you
no,
might not
don't go there.
understand what I
Don't
mean.
start talking friendship in prison. Stop it.
Okay.
Just stop it. Okay, let me take control of this. Just
No, I was
stop
gonna
it.
tell you about the bright side. You and
Oh,
me
tell me
or
about the
anybody would
price.
have in prison if we were in prison
No, I don't want to be in
for
prison.
life. Okay. Maybe it's just me, but go on.
Okay, so so several
How's the
months
sound? The
ago,
sound okay?
the sound is great. I'm loving it.
Oh, thank you.
The the several months ago we made an episode about subscriptions and about how difficult it is to cancel a subscription. So some people subscribe to magazines or online services or landscape services or news services or all kinds of things that now it's 2023, you pay with PayPal or a credit card and you never see anyone and no money is actually handed to anybody because everything's electronic. But when you try to cancel your membership to a gym or you try to cancel your membership to an escort service or a dating service or a bicycle rental program, anything you try to cancel is very, very difficult. So when you're signing up, someone will always answer the phone on customer service. But when you go through the cycle of, and how may I help you? What is this about? Para inglés, en puente número dos. For English, press number 2. Just to get to the person who can cancel something is a dang nightmare. But the bright side is I spent probably an hour and 20 minutes talking to 5 different customer representatives in customer service, giving them my account number. I'm just trying to cancel the internet in my apartment through AT&T. Yeah, don't mess.
Let me pause you, okay, for a second, because when you say that I'm trying to cancel, that's a very, very popular expression these days, because everybody's trying to cancel everybody else.
No, I mean, cancel culture is one thing and ghosting people's another thing. I'm in therapy, Petroma therapy, and my heart is starting to race. And I was just getting to the exciting part of my story. And then you said...
Okay, sorry. I just thought you were about to tell me about the cancel culture. But
no, I don't want to talk about the cancel culture. I want to talk about how many hoops I had to jump through just to cancel my account. And I talked to, Saeed, and I talked to Raul, and I talked to Sadri, and I talked to Nigel, and then I talked to all these different customer service special reps. They took down my information, they took down my account number, they took down everything. I had to go through reasons why I wanted to cancel. They tried to sell me a television bundle package. I said, I don't have a television. I don't want a television. I just like to cook. They promised they would help me. 20 minutes later, another call. 15 minutes later, another call. I said, you can't, you're not helping me cancel. And then they would switch me to a different representative. Finally, I got a woman on the phone. And I felt like there was maybe hope, but right before that,
right?
Well, it was someone other than these men who were trying to sell me stuff. So I had lunch already, and I was fortified. I had a cup of coffee, and I thought, I'm going to look on the bright side. I think if I spend 3 hours, I can accomplish this. So I imagined the worst possible scenario is I could never cancel it. But I thought, what if this took 3 hours? Would I be willing to spend 3 hours? So one of my techniques of working with the bright side is imagine the worst possible scenario, then negotiate with yourself how much time you're going to invest in something that you think you want.
But you didn't finish if a woman helped you. Or
I'm
not.
just saying it was refreshing that there was somebody, a different voice, and she lived in Illinois, and her voice was very friendly. And I started by saying, I don't want to buy anything. I don't have a television. I'm moving. I want to cancel my subscription.
So
and she said, fine, no problem.
You lied to her.
No, I didn't.
You said you're moving because you didn't have any more excuses left, right?
Yeah, something like that. And then she said that she would like to offer me the option of suspending my account. And then I only pay a certain amount just to have still no service. And I said, moving to a different country.
That's what I said. Well, I've been like the exact same story happened to me. But go on.
No, tell me your story. That's kind of the end of it.
No,
I finally got her.
Because you're in the US, I'm in Moscow, Russia, and I've gone the exact same steps. I made the exact same steps to get rid of the landline because these days nobody uses landline. I mean, in the apartment, I don't need it. Everybody has a cell phone.
Right.
But they don't want to cancel your landline payments because they're getting money from you. And I had to, 7 circles of hell. I don't know how to describe it, but very much what you've gone through.
Yeah.
But tell me about that woman. Did she help you? Can you give me her number?
No, you cannot have her number. What I You can't reach her. You have to talk to all these men first. She's kind of that. She's your reward for going through all the struggle. No,
Okay.
the thing was is that only thing I wanted to hear the word is here's your confirmation number. So we reached that after 17 minutes. It was like, well, I mean, I don't want to compare this to sex, but things were going really well. And then I thought, my gosh, this is going to be amazing. And then she said
Can I pause
something
you
that
again? I
really made me,
apologize because I don't know if it's okay to pause. If it's okay if you're in therapy and you're saying something and you get interrupted because the therapist wants to ask you a question or something. So if I pause you, is that okay if I pause you now and then? Because I have a
it
question,
doesn't seem to matter because you do it all the time.
right? No, but
Go
still,
ahead. Yeah.
all right. Shit, I forgot my question. Uh,
No, see, everything was good. Only thing I want was the confirmation number. And then she suddenly said, I said, so now when we hang up, I can go ahead and just live my life because I've got a confirmation number. And she said, just one more thing you have to do. And then my hopes plummeted. I go, what's that? She said, let me look up your account. I said, we've been talking about my account for 17 minutes. Isn't it on your screen? She said, there's a few more things I have to look up. I don't know. I think she works for, the forces of evil. So I'm just sitting there like I've got a confirmation number, but somehow, and it's going to take effect September the 14th. I'm super excited. That was yesterday. And now she tells me that I have a modem that has to be returned. I go, okay, well, I'm just going to take it to an AT&T store. No, I have to go to a UPS store. I have to give them my account number. I go, just made me be sure I got the right thing. It's kind of a square box. It looks like a waffle. It's got a bunch of wires hanging out of it. She goes,
yeah,
yes,
I know
that's your
that's it's
modem.
like we're in the same city because it's exact and same story happening here. If you want to cancel your subscription, okay, go on. And by the way, this woman in Illinois, does she have a name?
I can't remember if it was Eileen or Kelly. Kelly is a color of green, Kelly Green.
Caitlin, perhaps.
Kelly, Kelley, Kelly.
Okay.
So anyhow, she made me promise. She said, I have to read you this disclosure thing. I go, okay. So I sit there just in a coma, waiting for her to read me 47 paragraphs. She reads me about 3 paragraphs, asking me if within 15 days, I think I could return this to a UPS store. And I said, yes. She said, what did you say? I said, yes. So I have my planner out because I can write everything down. And there's a UPS store I could walk to it. It's like 2 streets away from me. So I've written down today, I'm going to go to the UPS store. I'm going to hand them this modem. I'm going to give them my account number. And then I have to do return receipt, something. And then the modem will be gone and supposedly everything will be over. But then she said, well, I'm going to send you another email saying that you have had some changes to your account, but don't be alarmed. Now, when someone says to you, don't be alarmed, how does that make you feel?
No one said that to me. Nobody ever said, don't be alarmed to me. They always tell me, calm down, which makes the situation even worse. I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like don't be alarmed, or like I have a couple friends that I talk to sometimes about different things, and then this one friend of mine, he's getting ready to leave, and he somehow always, as soon as he's getting ready to leave, he brings up something that we have no time to discuss. He goes, well, there was just one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. I go, I don't want to hear it. Do not tell me it. Why are you bringing it up now? So anyhow, I become anxious when people try to tell me the truth and there's no time to discuss it. But look on the bright side. Today, I'm going out for breakfast. I'm going to get pancakes. No, I'm going to get waffles with pecans in it and scrambled eggs and hash browns and bacon and coffee and grits. That makes me feel great. That makes me feel like, like good for like 45 minutes. Is there anything good happening to you today? The bright side?
Yeah, I slept well, which doesn't happen often. Um, yeah, that's the most important good thing that happened to me today. Did you sleep well?
No, I haven't slept hardly at all.
Maybe
Well, I
you
mean,
will
no, I don't
sleep
want to
well.
sleep. I have a lot of things to do.
Well, you'll have to.
No,
What's your
I have a lot
anxiety
of things.
level?
No, there's a lot of things I have to do today. I have to get that modem to the UPS people before like the building burns down or something. I have to. I have to go get just a standard flu shot, not a COVID shot, but just like back to school teacher flu shot thing. I have to. What else do I have to do? Yeah, I have. Oh, this is horrible. Let me tell you the bright side of this really horrible thing. You there? Okay, so
Yeah,
when you
okay.
work,
Sorry, I muted myself.
okay, so so I have a lot to do today. So I I feel that the truth really hurts. The truth hurts, and you know, the truth hurts. But like at my university, University of Texas at Austin, there's a huge tower where somebody like stood with a rifle and shot a bunch of people in the 1960s. Anyhow,
I didn't
on the tower,
understand. I mean,
what?
truth, the truth hurts whom? It hurts you
Okay, well,
or other
yeah,
people?
wait a minute. The truth hurts. So like on this carved around the base of this beautiful tower says, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." So it's a beautiful expression about the goodness of truth, the brightness of truth. But what I want to say is that the truth really sucks because I have been a teacher in different places, different schools, different colleges, different universities, different private schools. And every time you move or switch to a different school or a different place, you have a different retirement account. And sometimes it's matching funds, and sometimes it's, I don't know, all these different types of, annuities and all this stuff. So anyhow, like I just keep switching around different places because that's how I am. Like I didn't work 30 years in one place and I'm not going to get like one check from one place. So I'm kind of a nomad. So anyhow, maybe 15 years ago, I left this one school district and there was a certain amount of money there in my retirement account. And I could take it out whenever I wanted to. And I know that there's sometimes penalties and sometimes this and that. So anyhow, I tried to take the money out, and you have to go to a third party who has to verify your account and certify this, and you have to have a certain kind of special seal that's you can only get at certain banks, and it's jumping through hoops. So like I've tried 4 or 5 times over the past 10 years since I've been in Dallas to get this money out of this one of many accounts that I have. And then I go to my bank here in Dallas and I talk to the bank manager and I say, look, these people won't give me my money. Can you help me? Then the bank manager's name is Paul. And Paul said, oh, yeah, I'll help you. Let's do a 3-way phone call with the girl that's going to pick up the phone. And maybe because I'm a branch manager, we can make this happen. So then the woman promised to send the paperwork to me to my address. And Paul said, why don't you just send it to me? I'm at the bank. And she goes, well, our standard policy, blah, 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 blah. So anyhow, it's like horrifying. So the paperwork never came. Then I tried to go back to talk to Paul. Paul wasn't there. I asked the assistant manager, where's Paul? And they said, well, he's out. He's hurt his foot. Yeah, I go, well, as far as I know, Paul has hands. He can answer his email. No, he's on leave. So Paul disappeared for a while. And then I just thought, the world does not want me to have this money. I'm just going to let it go. Then suddenly, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months ago, I get an email that teachers have band together and brought a class action suit against a specific school district who has mismanaged our funds and won't give it to us. So I'm going to get my money. I'm like super excited. Well, you know, one of the things about looking at the bright side, as soon as you see the bright side, right behind the bright side is the dark side, right? That's where the truth is. So I look at this one piece of paper that they've mailed me. All I have to do is fill out this one piece of paper, put my account number, put the date I started it, put the mailing address, put my bank where I want my money to go to, and mail it away before October the 1st or 5th. So I met up with a lawyer friend of mine for coffee day before yesterday. I thought, yeah, this guy knows the law. He's been to law school, NYU law. I'm just going to take it out of my planner and just say, hey, look at this one piece of paper. Doesn't it look like it says fill it out and sign here and mail it? He goes, yeah. He goes, oh, okay, let's see. It's a class action lawsuit. He says, let's look it up online. So you know what? I'm thinking that it's a very small amount of money, $750. But I'm thinking, well, you know, I at least can get my $750 back. You know, I can buy a lot of coffee with that. $750. He looks it up. So I'm going to get it certified, return receipt, notarized. That's going to cost me $20 to get all that done. I've already wasted time just talking about it. And he looks it up online. He says, well, there's this much settlement money and there's millions of people going to get it. He calculates it quickly. He said, you're going to get about $22 back. How did that make me feel?
Well, you know, being a therapist, I was just for a moment, just imagine that I'm a real therapist. Being a therapist, I would be getting paid to listen, right? Not give my opinion or give you judgment of what I think of the situation, or maybe share my own personal experiences with you as a client, right? As a way of building rapport. So if that was my job and you were my client, I would say that would probably make you feel bad. Would that be?
Yeah, well, I would say I've been coming to therapy for you for 7 years. Of course, you're going to say it makes me feel bad. And I don't want you just to sit there and listen. I want you to give me solutions to my problems. That's why I show up.
Yeah, but then I would have answered that I'm here to process your traumas and hash out past issues, right? And you yourself help me to guide you, if you know what I mean. So basically, I get paid to be a listener because I like it. I don't have to tell anything. You just sit.
Yes, you do have to tell me something. I'm getting really mad.
What's your anxiety level? You have
Yo
to tell
soy
me it's about fun.
muy enojada. I'm not sad. I'm not anxious. I'm just mad.
Yeah, but
Very
maybe talking
mad.
isn't my thing. It's not that. Anyway.
Talking is your thing. Stop arguing with me. No, you know, the
Would
thing
you
about
pay
this bright side.
to listen to you vent, right? You would, right?
Yeah, I'm really mad also because my therapist here in Dallas, who I've been seeing off and on, and also, you know, Father Don was a counselor that I went to talk to, you know, at my parish. The regular parish family therapist must be really, really busy because I tried to put in a message, you know, for me to come in, and I'm one of her regular people, like, you know. And,
I don't
you know,
even
she has.
understand. I mean, you in the US, you have Alexa. Alexa is I don't know if you know what Alexa is, but it's basically.
I know what Alexa is. I know what Siri is. I know what robot sex dolls are. I don't want any part of it. I need a real person. Yes.
Okay. Maybe it's just me then, because. Okay, go on. You there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm just trying to regain my sense of balance. No,
What's your
no, the thing
anxiety
is,
level? Tell me if it's above 5. Is it 7?
oh, yes, it's beyond five. Of course it's beyond five. Haven't you gone to like Petroma Therapy School? Of course it's beyond five. No, I'm saying with this whole idea of look at the bright side, I personally feel like after darkness is the dawn, and then after a day and the day's over comes darkness. Like, it's a vicious cycle that we're caught in. The idea of looking at the bright side is nonsense to me.
No, it's not nonsense. That's why you're here, because I'm trying to explain to you why it's not nonsense. Because you tell me some of your problems, and half of your stress already gone. Okay, it's automatically vanished. And then you can think about the solution. If you need help from me, I'm about to give it. But still, the solution is your responsibility because you have to think about that.
Don't start playing Father Don with me. I go in to talk to Father Don, and he gives me these quizzical looks and, small smiles and, expecting me to solve my own problems. Like, if I'm going to solve my own problems, why did I get in my car and drive over to his office?
Yeah, I have never ever actually met Father Don. Not that
Yes, you have. You have met Father Don. He sent an email back to you and me.
I don't remember. But then again, maybe he didn't send it to me.
He CC'd. Well, I don't know. Well, anyhow, of Father Don. Okay, well, also Father Don is not responding. My therapist is not responding. I have to take this modem back. My
Are they
700
like a couple or an item? I mean, Father Don and your therapist, because they both not responding. I thought maybe they're an item.
It's a church, and she's been there for 30 years. She's the family therapist that deals with funerals and weddings and burials and family problems and divorces and anxiety. She's the therapist for the church, and she's both English and Spanish. She's a busy woman. Father Don was assigned to the parish for a few years. Now he's in Hollywood. So they cycle priests through there every 3 or 4 years. The priests are coming and going, but the therapist is there forever.
Yeah, look at the bright side, because there is a bright side to it. Isn't there a bright side?
This is your theme. What? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I have this imaginary friend. I told you about him. His name is Jack. Daniel.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't need no therapist. This is double negative, right? I like double negative. Somehow it's not correct, but I love that.
I don't need no.
I don't need no friend.
No, it's in songs a lot. They use it. They use it in songs. They use it in songs sometimes.
Oh, I love that. I don't know, maybe because I'm not a native speaker, but that makes me good. Saying I don't need it makes me. It's like I'm in power and in control of the situation. Because
it's your false positive. Well, that Pink Floyd's. That Pink Floyd song, "We Don't Need No Education."
Oh, yeah, was it Pink Floyd? Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Just another brick in the wall. Like, we don't need no. That's a double negative. We don't need no.
How about double positive? Can you give me a double positive?
Do you want it on the rocks or straight? Neat.
Smart.
A double positive.
Right. Yeah, or false positive, because you said false negative. I don't know. The bright side is you're here with me, and you have a company. Even though Father Don has gone to California, why did he go to California from Texas? I don't understand. People usually go.
No, they assign the head of his order of priests. He belongs to the Vincentian order. There's Dominicans, Vincentians, Jesuits, all these different orders of priests, and he is a Vincentian. And the head of the Vincentian Society looks at all the priests and they say, where is the best place for them to be? So
he was
Father
sent
Don.
to California as a punishment.
Yes, because listen to this. Yeah, to Hollywood, because here he was in Dallas in a super rich parish full of tons of money and tons of people and tons of money and amazing restaurants and people inviting him to very luxurious parties and he was sent here to raise more money because Dallas has so much money and all they need is somebody to schmooze these people to get their money out of them so that they can rebuild part of the church, they can improve the school. It's got a school attached to it. So
Do
Father
you know
Don's an
we're on the record, right? Because I'm
yes, it's
just
very good. No,
reminding
I
you,
know
because
that.
if you
No,
don't want to
people.
say,
No, I'm saying
oh,
people know this. I mean, everybody in the parish knows this. He was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful priest. Now, afterwards, he had earned enough credits, to have a couple weeks off, so he kind of disappeared for a while. And then temporarily, he was going to be assigned up to the Pacific Northwest coast to a girls' college, and he was going to be their spiritual director. How would you like to be the a priest
spiritual director
counselor?
in a girls' college?
You're going to be the priest at the girls' college. They're going to come by your office and talk about their problems.
I don't know what does spiritual director do exactly, but he's in the girls' college, uh, there's only one way to do things. I don't even know
No,
what to expect, or
no, a
what to
spiritual
get. But
director, like we did an episode on the sacrament of the present moment, and that guy, De Caussade, was a spiritual director to this group of nuns, and he gave some talks. So a spiritual director is someone who comes in and gives talks and does, like individual meetings, like, everybody has various sins like, pride and avarice and greed and sloth. So if you're lazy, that's the sin of sloth. So a spiritual director is someone who has training in counseling and in therapy and in matters of Christian faith. So a spiritual director, he was going to be up on the Pacific Northwest coast, and I was thinking of moving up to Portland, Oregon, and I kept thinking, this is amazing. Father Don's going to be in, like, I don't know, an hour and a half away from where I was going to be living. I imagine I would just like get in my car and go drive there. And anyhow, so the rumors were that he was going to be assigned to this girls' college as a the priest who would say mass for the girls and have confession and also do counseling. And how would you like to be a man in a beautiful setting surrounded by girls who have problems?
I wouldn't like it, honestly. Now I know he was sent there as a
But he
punishment.
didn't go. No, he didn't go there. They didn't send him there. What happened at the last minute was, you know, some of us uh, enjoy life. We love to eat and drink and go out and listen to music and eat cupcakes and expensive coffees. Like we like, we're hedonists. We enjoy the physical things of life. And some people don't need too many things. They're kind of like sort of streamlined. They don't really need a lot of stuff in their life. But so Father Don, he loves to eat. He's a gourmet cook, and he used to offer these dinners that would be raffled off at an auction. People would pay hundreds of dollars for him to come cook at their house. So, Father Don was very much a man of the world. So his supervisors assigned him to it was in Hollywood, California, kind of near Hollywood, which is kind of, he's originally from, that part of the world. That's, where he grew up. He was a little Father Don. Um, they assigned him to a house where he was going to be living with older priests, 7 or 8 older priests, and that was his assignment and these were priests that did missionary work in the poorer neighborhoods. So he went from Dallas, Texas to living with older priests who worked in poor neighborhoods.
What caught my attention here is the word hedonism. As I understand that what you meant is a pleasure-seeking person, of which I know that we have only two motives in life: either avoid pain or to seek pleasure. And but I never knew that's called hedonism.
Right. Well, yeah, the
pleasure.
hedonism. I mean, yeah, a hedon is someone that, doesn't pay too much attention to morals or manners or society. They're just, after their own pleasure. But also, it's somebody that enjoys the good things of life, like eat, drink, and be merry, and enjoy expensive liqueurs and enjoy an expensive creme brulee or drink scotch or whatever you want to do, and like have a really nice suit that
No,
costs a lot
but
of money.
if you like in your childhood you enjoyed with your friends at a beautiful, I don't know, sunset, or not necessarily like sensory kind of pleasures like food or I don't know else, and it's not a bad thing, right? Because if I'm if I
The
like the
sunset,
nature, yeah,
the
sunset
sunset,
or yeah,
yeah,
when you
sunset,
enjoy.
sunset is good unless it's setting on your property and a drone is
Is
flying
your
by, and you know.
Yeah, is your anxiety level going down? Because I have a feeling that you're a little bit calmer than you were a half hour ago.
Yeah, but
If I,
then you mentioned the word sunset, and there were helicopters, helicopters flying around my apartment building because there's escaped criminals, there's drug deals. So the Dallas police, they're not only in cars downtown, some of them are on horses, but they also have these helicopters that go up with like a light that shines down. So if somebody's like running through the woods, the
you're
helicopter.
making it sound like you live in a war zone. What? You're not in
I'm
Yemen.
telling you
You're
the
in
truth.
Dallas, and
You
Dallas.
never believe me. Don't you know what a helicopter is? Yes. Don't you know that it's dark at night? Yes. Don't you know that sometimes somebody robbed a store and they're running away, or somebody stole a car and they're running away? So if the police are up in their helicopters, there's two copters going up above. See, I live in East Dallas, and there's lakes, there's woods, there's rivers, and it's also very close to downtown. It's very close to some very wealthy parts of town. So quite often, like maybe once every 2 3 months, there's helicopters, and they're not up there just like looking at the stars. They're up there searching for someone. Uh, that was another reason I was kind of upset the other day.
I
It,
like helicopters.
I do live in a war zone. It's
I
called.
like choppers because they can fly backwards. A plane can't do that. When I was a little boy, I had this model like toys of helicopters. And I imagine that when I grow up, I'll be a pilot on one of those. But no, see, I'm sad.
Have you grown
You
up?
made me sad. Yeah, you made
Have
me
you?
sad because I recall that issue I had as a kid that I was gonna be a helicopter pilot and now I'm not. And
Well,
I
that's the.
can't fly that backwards or sideways. That makes me sad. And all because you mentioned the chopper above Dallas in the sky.
Well, that's why we go to therapy, to make the therapist remember really sad things, because when the therapist is talking to people, he or she is also a person, and also has feelings and memories. So I think it would be very difficult to be a good therapist, because after your clients leave, you still have your own information and feelings to process. But meanwhile, the next client is coming in.
Yeah,
Imagine,
yeah.
imagine after talking to me, you were going to talk to like Mark Stevens. You were going to talk to Jared and the truck driver philosopher. Maybe you're going to talk to Tony Carnes.
Well,
Like we're all.
I we never get to talk to them. I mean, we spoke once with Mark, and then he disappeared. Well, maybe again the time difference plays its role, but Still, yeah, I agree
What do you agree?
with you.
No, it's true that, I think when I was young, I, well, I wanted to be an archaeologist. I didn't, I enjoyed, I wanted to be a detective. I wanted to be a priest for a while because I thought that was pretty cool. And then I also wanted to be, but, more seriously, maybe I was maybe about 11 years old. I wanted to become a teacher because I saw how awful teachers were and what a terrible job they did. And I kept thinking, like, anybody could, and, people should not have to suffer under miserable teachers. So I guess maybe I was about 11 or 12 years old, and I said, I'm going to become a teacher. And I did. I became a teacher.
But to tell me more, could you tell me more about why and how exactly you wanted to be an archaeologist and find that, like really old things and places where people live and investigate how they lived in it? Tell me more about that.
Well, I guess our home base was San Antonio, Texas, where my grandparents and the old Italian aunts lived. But every 2 years we were transferred because my dad was military. So we lived in Virginia, we lived in Guam, we lived in Germany, we lived in New York, we lived in Florida, we lived everywhere. Every 2 years we're moving. But we come back to the home base, which was San Antonio, and my grandfather had these National Geographic magazines. So when I was a little girl, I would go into the back bedroom where it was two beds and a television, and it was kind of you know, and I just like lay on the floor and look at these National Geographic magazines. And I remember some of my ideas about life were formed from looking at those magazines. And there were articles about dinosaurs and exploring Egyptian tombs, and then virgin sacrifices, the Aztec Indians carrying virgins up these stairs. That was very made a big impression, like these very strong Hispanic looking men carrying that had feathers in their hair, carrying a woman who's kind of fainted up the steps of the Aztec pyramids. But yeah, I mean, and also they had articles about Anne Frank, in hiding in Nazi Germany. So I was very into like Nazi Germany stuff, also Russian, those domes of I guess we originally learned them, they were onion shaped domes. So like all that was mixed in my foundation about age like 5, 6, 7.
When I think of archaeology, we had these classes in school when I was fifth grade or sixth grade about archaeology, and I thought, wow, isn't that a great job? Somehow you just find these, dead people or remains of what left of them. And recently, and I forgot about that, but recently, a few years ago, I read the article about how they found the King Richard III of England in the middle of London. I actually lived in London at the time, and I thought,
Huh.
wow, the King of England, the Richard III, he was considered to be lost like forever, but then somehow, I don't know, accidentally again, they found him and reburied. And I guess Shakespeare, in one of his plays, or he dedicated one of his plays to to Richard III. I don't remember, but the famous expression that I don't remember exactly, the horse for the half of kingdom or for the whole kingdom. I can't rephrase that. I'm killing it. I'm saying, but that was what Richard III said, and I knew it from my childhood. And then they found him. He died in the late 16th century, I think, and reburied. And that's what archaeologists do. And I thought, well, no, I want to be a librarian, or baker. I mentioned a few professions I would have made a career of, but archaeology is still one of them, because you can always find and touch those people who's not with us. Like there is an expression again that we were like you, and you'll be like us. It's like if you see the remains in
Yes,
Wales.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So
let
it's
me
all
go back
part
to
of it.
this. let me go back to this. My Kingdom for a Horse.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
I
that's
just
the first.
this is actually from Act 5, Scene 4 of Shakespeare's Richard III. At the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah,
play,
and that's famous
I'm just
expression.
reading this from from online that at the end of the, I'm reminding myself and also for our subscribers, at the end of the play, Richard has lost his horse on the battlefield. We see his frustration. His opponent, Richmond, has sent out men as decoys dressed like him. Richard has killed 5 of them, but Richmond himself has eluded him and is now hunting him down. Richard has done well without a horse, but has no chance. Now Richmond is closing in on him, and his ally, Catesbury, tries to help him. And then he says, a horse, my kingdom for a horse. So it's kind of a little twist in fate, a little twist in fate. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
I don't know why I knew about this expression since my childhood, but I don't know. There's a reason for everything. I just don't know why.
well, there's so many things that we don't know, and sometimes just talking and kind of airing out your anxieties is a little bit helpful. I'm now starting to feel just a little bit better, but it could turn at any minute. Yeah, yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with me with our listeners? Because I'm sure we have listeners. They're just too shy to come up with questions.
Well,
Except
we
for
have
Michael.
managed.
Michael.
Well, Michael's on vacation. He's in Indonesia. He's got his own channel. He's in Indonesia. He's busy eating amazing food, and Mark Stevens is too busy. Everyone's too busy. Like we now have 80 some subscribers, but they're all so busy that they never listen to the episodes anymore. So I don't know if that's progress or not. Like we used to have we have Manuel in Germany and Lydia and David Anton and whatnot, and a few people have kind of strong armed into it. But one of my goals was like by the summer we could get 100 subscribers. So I was kind of like sort of trying to do that, and then we got some subscribers, and some of them have been listening to it. But then they say when I run into these people, they go, "Oh, they really, really like it." One person said, "You talk too much. Why don't you let the other guy talk more?" I felt really awful when this person told me that.
No, that's not fair because
it is
because
fair.
I'm a therapist and you're a client. Clients always talk more than therapists in the real world.
Right? Yeah, well, I mean, I was feeling really great. We're getting more subscribers, and then when I talked to one and asked him what he thought, he said, "Well, yeah, I mean, the episode's really great. You got a lot of potential there, but you talk too much. Let the other guy talk. He's got some interesting stuff to say." I thought that was pretty.
I don't have any interesting stuff to say. I assure you, my stuff were not interesting.
Yes, your self-effacing,
anyway.
Your self-effacing modesty.
Anyway, I think that's good because my charge is getting low.
Yeah, that's what they all say. my charge is low. Well, we didn't ring the bell at the beginning, but sometimes you just have to just jump in and look at the bright side, and we hope that everyone will stay safe. And if anyone's out there, is anyone listening? Is anyone there?